leading doctors say that Joe Biden may be unfit to be president, questioning his mental capacity after a total train wreck of an interview on Afghanistan. Is Joe Biden losing his mind? Doctors say they would not approve him as fit for president if he were to run again. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we need to talk about Joe Biden. So lately, people have been noticing the shocking decline of Joe Biden and his mental acuity. He seems to be losing it, as 52% of Americans do not even believe that Biden is mentally or physically up to the job of president, with 51% of Americans believing that someone else is pulling the strings. More than half of America thinks that Joe Biden is incompetent and not in charge. But we're going to talk all about that, folks, including Bin Laden's prediction that Joe Biden would lead America into a crisis. Oh yeah, it's real. But before we do, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so that you can get updates for future content, and support the channel by sharing this video. Sharing the video is the best thing you can do to help support the channel and fight back against big tech censorship. And now a quick word from our sponsor. Introducing Webull. Webull is an easy and convenient trading app where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency and stocks, where all you have to do is open an account and deposit $5 to get 2 free stocks. These stocks could be worth up to $1,400. Folks, it's basically free money. Join Webull, download the app, and deposit your first $5 by clicking the link down below in the description. And we're back. I want to show you something. It's probably one of the most incredible headlines that I've seen all year. Here on the New York Post, it says, Bin Laden warned in a 2010 letter that Biden would lead the US into a crisis. Now, for those of you who may not know, Bin Laden is dead. Well, allegedly, he's dead. The US took him out. However, he made a prediction about Joe Biden, and I think it came true. Now, I want you to read what it says here. It will blow your mind. Here on the Daily Mail, it says, Osama Bin Laden banned Al-Qaeda from trying to assassinate Joe Biden because he believed he would be an incompetent president and lead the US into a crisis. Was this guy actually Nostradamus? Talk about a prediction. This guy's been dead for quite a while. Osama Bin Laden, the man that America went to Afghanistan to terminate, warned in 2010 that a Biden presidency would lead the US into a crisis. Let's see what it says here. Osama Bin Laden banned Al-Qaeda from assassinating Joe Biden because the Democrat would become an incompetent president and lead the US into a crisis if jihadists were successful in killing Barack Obama. So let me get this straight. These extremist groups literally wanted Joe Biden to stay alive so that he could become president and screw up the United States. What does it say when our enemies, our greatest enemies on foreign soil, are saying, don't assassinate that guy. We need him to become president because he'll destroy and ruin everything. Talk about a prediction. So Bin Laden made the remark in a 2010 letter that was found in a trove of documents at the Pakistan compound where he was killed by US Special Forces in 2011. So I don't know if you want to call this guy a prophet, but he basically predicted the future. Now, I want to take you over to the story about doctors saying that they don't think that Joe Biden is okay. Here on the Daily Mail, it says, is this man fit for office? Doctors say they would be concerned about anyone with Joe Biden's symptoms at age 78, after 2 brain aneurysms and a heart condition, which are both linked to memory problems. So, Joe Biden's health has come under scrutiny after he got mixed up in an interview. He had previously suffered from brain aneurysms and a heart condition, and this is all very concerning. Now, many people have been saying, especially people who are not Biden supporters, who do not like the Democrats, they've been pointing out that Joe Biden does not seem mentally or physically well. And many people have raised questions about whether he is even fit to be president. Most people would say no. In my opinion, heck no. Biden is completely and utterly incompetent. The story begins. Questions have been raised about U.S. President Joe Biden's cognitive well-being after a car crash interview over his handling of the unfolding Afghanistan crisis. America's oldest president provided jumbled responses to questions and mixed up details about his son in an interview with the ABC. The stumbles did not make the broadcasted version, but were revealed when a full transcript of the interview was published overnight. So, many of you probably heard about this. They took out all the parts where Joe Biden had an absolute gaffe, an absolute stumble. They basically took out all of his nonsense to make it seem like Joe Biden is actually capable of answering a question. The thing, and we went to the Afghanistan, and I had hairy legs, and the children, they came up to me with the ice cream. The story continues. It revealed that the president incorrectly stated his late son, Beau Biden, worked for the Navy in Afghanistan before correcting himself that he served in the Army in Iraq. It follows a spat of gaffes and slips of the tongue since the 78-year-old ran his successful presidential campaign in 2019. So it says here, a top cardiologist told Mail Online Today that both conditions are linked to memory difficulties and confusion, as well as dementia. Dr. Asim Malhotra, an NHS consultant and expert in evidence-based medicine, said, quote, certainly there's a link between the conditions and cognitive decline, but just as a doctor observing him, given his medical history and age, I'm worried about early onset dementia. I would be worried about anyone exhibiting issues with recall and memory at Joe Biden's age. Okay. This is a lot to take in, but it's all saying the same thing. I mean, look at the comments on this article. RoboCo1 says, pretending this man is well enough to hold office is a grave injustice to the American people and the world. Sodium Lit Suburb says, funny how nobody in the media was concerned during the election when he was no better than he is now. We are being played for fools. Now, I've been seeing people talk about this. The FBI found scant evidence. Don't you just love that headline? What does it really mean? The FBI found no evidence that the Capitol riot was an organized plot. We all knew this because it's obvious. It was a mostly peaceful protest that got out of hand. That's all it was. There was no plot by the scary right-wingers to do anything. In fact, there was probably some agitators, and I believe they said out of the 95% of cases we investigated, they were all one-off cases. In other words, kind of just happened in the heat of the moment. Only 5% of people were involved in any sort of plotting per se. So in other words, there was no insurrection. That's fake news. And this is according to the FBI. So the FBI finds scant evidence that the Capitol riot was an organized plot. It's that simple. I will read you the official quote. Though federal officials have arrested more than 570 alleged participants, the FBI at this point believes the violence was not centrally coordinated by far-right groups or prominent supporters of then-President Donald Trump, according to the sources who have been either directly involved in or briefed regularly on the wide-ranging investigations. So, yeah. Now, I think the question on everybody's minds is, what's going to happen in Afghanistan? Well, personally, I believe that Americans who are stranded in Afghanistan are probably never going to escape. They will be taken hostage. Some of them are already hostage. Some of them will be terminated, which is already happening. But there are people fighting back. Joe Biden might actually have a chance to make this better. Here on the Daily Mail, it says, the resistance is still alive. Afghan resistance claims to have captured 3 towns north of Kabul in fighting that killed or injured 60 Taliban fighters. One of the main criticisms that people, including myself, had about Afghanistan was that people ran away and refused to fight. Many people said this was cowardly. These able-bodied men escaping on airplanes, when it really should have been women and children who got to get evacuated first because they have the most to lose. But that's not what happened. You saw all these able-bodied young men push the women and children out of the way so that they could escape, so that they could get away. But there are people fighting back, and they have a message for Sleepy Joe. They say, give us weapons, Joe, so we can fight Al-Qaeda. Afghan rebel leader in holdout province urges Biden to give them food, firepower, and weapons to battle the Taliban. This is Joe Biden's chance to make this right. The best thing that Joe Biden could do to salvage the situation is arm these resistance fighters, give them the weapons, give them the munitions they need to defend Afghanistan. Afghanistan fighting back and defending itself was always the right answer, but that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know by commenting down below in the comment section. As always, support the channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar. Joining will give you access to a private Discord server. It's members only, so be sure to join. You can donate via DonorBox or send me crypto. Links are down below in the description. Anyhow, thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time.